The knife on your screen is the Jungle Primitive by Salk. First and foremost, some specs so you can get an idea of what kind of knife are we talking about today. It is 15 inches in overall length with 9.5 inches in blade length. The knife by itself is mere 12 ounces or 222 grams. The Jungle Primitive features some traditional and some exclusive characteristics. I would say it is a light Bowie, and we'll discuss that later, with two edges. The serrated edge is very well done, in my opinion. A very high hollow grind that gives it a very good cutting ability, and the unique characteristic serration on the back. At first, I thought the knife was quite a bit comical just because of the shape of the serrations, but when I got it in hand, I noticed the serrations were very thin. The blade was ground before the serrations were made, and they are not only very pointy, but they are also built on a curve, and that turns the knife into a very efficient saw for the jungle. The serrations, as you can see compared to my hand, they are very large. The handle is Creighton with a very fine texture, and it features a hammering pommel and a rather large hilt. One good thing about this knife is the perforations on the handle that will allow the knife to be built into a spear, which is very useful in the jungle. What could make this knife a good jungle knife is that it's very, very narrow. It's only 4 millimeters in thickness. What does that mean? That means this knife is closer to a very short machete than to a proper full-size Bowie. And as most of the people know, the most appropriate knife for a jungle environment will always be a machete. Unfortunately, in my opinion, the Jungle Primitive falls on the short side of a machete, rendering it rather useless on a jungle environment. As you may know, everywhere in the tropic, it doesn't matter if you're near the coast where the vegetation is very thick, or if you're in the mountains, the characteristics of the vegetation turns a heavy knife or even a hatchet. My experience in tropical environments tells me that the absolute minimum blade length for a machete is 13 inches. And that means the Bowie profile of the Jungle Primitive makes it even shorter than what is needed. But it has some good things. For example, it has a very nice handle, a very versatile one, I would say. It protects your fingers and gives you two perforations to build a D-guard out of paracord. It has a very nice length and tip to build a spear with it. And the most important thing about all the Jungle Primitive's characteristics is its lightweight. Let me show you. This is a standard Bowie that will perform, as we all know, very well as a chopper or a cutting tool, and it is about 2.5 pounds in weight, while the Trailblazer hatchet plus the Jungle Primitive gives you 2.25 pounds in weight. So you have two different tools specific for every task instead of one that will do both tasks poorly. Do I like the Jungle Primitive? Yes. It is a great companion for a hatchet and a great hiker or backpacker knife.